brief introduction to the Plymouth Argyle TCE Central Element Football Casuals firm by yours truly, your humble narrator, Derek Diablo, Diablo TV, like, subscribe, do things you're supposed to do, champ. So I keep bringing you this historical and culturally relevant information for the future of humanity, you understand? Little known topic, the reserve, quality over quantity. That special reserve I'm talking about, the Plymouth lads, has been called by Gilly Shaw of the Wolves. He called them the salt of the earth, and I agree. Now, let's begin with the picture I posted up, and my mate Plymouth Ryan, and he's not into football hooliganism, is it? So is he? So he doesn't see some of the stuff that I go on about the same way I see it. However, this one he could agree upon that it's class, and it reflects on not only the Plymouth lads, but all UK football lads. This historical event, which was when yours truly, Diablo, the American Janitor, when I arrived for the first time in UK, in England, in Plymouth, and I had struck up a friendship with the Plymouth boys. Now you look at that picture there, and how it began is I done the first Millwall video, as everybody know, the infamous Millwall video. Got everything else, all this other stuff out of it, didn't I? Done that. That's August of 2018, right? So now I go in and start doing videos on other firms, getting deeper in the game, knowing more lads, bantering people, At the same time, I'm going into these big firms, and then smaller firms that to that point hadn't been very well documented. Since that point, are better documented. In time, we're going to document it even better, at least the cultural side of it, stuff I'm into. As far as the violence and the fighting and stuff, other people could talk about that. There's more to it than that. To me, it's the culture and there's plenty of gang scenes that got fighting and everything. That's cool and that's interesting, and that's there. That's part of it. That's the organizing force. That in the football, but then the culture, the different sets, the different smaller firms, the history, and how it goes into the local culture and the local folk idioms and everything like that. So basically, smaller firms, other firms, lesser known firms started reaching out to me. Among them, Plymouth Argyle, who my best friend in all of UK, man like Stephen Adams. I hope you're doing all right, brother. Big Steph. So basically, he had to reach out to me by message, and there'll be all these threats. People threatening me, Papa, you're gonna do this to me, do that to me. If I ever turn up, they're gonna do this, on the Steve Dolan's boards and all this kind of stuff. But then this is all my messages now. Loads of death threats, all kind of threats. And then every so often you get a more sensible one that was in opposition. Every so often you get one that's supportive, right? And people tell me, yeah, like F Millwall or whatever it is, and go in on them. So basically, Steph, his was a bit different, in that, like, all right, Del, he said hello to me, and he said, listen, this is Plymouth, this is where your country come from, kind of deal. He started telling me about Mayflower steps, and I already knew some of it and everything like that. So we started talking. The Argyle mascot is a pilgrim. They're the pilgrims, so there's an automatic connection. I've been where the pilgrims left from to found America. Feel me? John Carver, Mayflower, 1670. Now then, it was first Steph who reached out to me and taught me about the Plymouth Argyle TCE, taught me about Plymouth Argyle. Nobody in America knew who it was before I started talking about it. Now a lot of people know who it is. It's a curious name for a team, and it has a brilliant history. And they've been promoted second division now. Man like Wayne Rooney running things, doing a good job. COYG, understand? And me and Steph was talking, and then I started meeting other TC Plymouth lads, started reaching out, and I started making friends with them and getting on with them and checking out their stuff and looking at their stuff and looking at Plymouth Argyle, looking at the history. You feel me? They were 4th division at this time, back in 2019. Before I came over in 2019, the end of 2018, when I started meeting these guys, when I started meeting Steph and so forth. And then some time came on once I started knowing some of the TCE boys. I'm knowing other firms, And then Ringo, the man like David John Ring, GHS, Bristol Rovers, Gas Hit Squad. Even though they're different firms, he was kind of an older lad that looked after in some ways in business and there's other things, and was generally a good older brother figure, even from a different firm, let's say. Basically, he was going through some medical procedure. They didn't know if he was going to make it. I didn't know who he was, but Steph, we had been FaceTiming and everything like this by this time. And he says, brother, he said, this guy is, this man, he is who he is, And he says, if you do a video for him, we don't know if he's going to make it. If you do a video for him, I owe you 100 pints if you ever come to England. I said, well, brother, if the guy means that much to you and there are other people and he is who he is, I says, I'll just do the video for you, brotherhood. I said, but you still going to owe me 100 pints if I come to England? He said, yeah. I said, well, his wife already knew me, we were already talking, doing FaceTime together and playing music and things. I think she thought I was all right. I said, mate, you got your own house. Your missus knows me. I was like, can I stay with you for a couple of weeks while I got on my feet? I thought everybody wanted to fight me. I thought I was going to make so much money. It took me, years and years to get a boxing match. But I thought so many people were threatening me to want to fight me that I was going to make a lot of money fighting. Boom. So then, I took the money I had on me and bought a one-way ticket, and I went over. And then that's where it gets to this final introduction, and I'll try to close here soon. And here's where the picture is. So then I infiltrate my way in, bam, 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 Exeter Airport. Hey, Exeter. So I arrive at Exeter Airport. Who picks me up? Steph and Dingle, and immediately thereafter it looked like it's seen at a football factory in the when they're on the way to the match. Let's just leave it like that. Right? So hey, you hold all that stuff down, buddy. Hold it down. Now there. So Dingle and Steph picked me up, right, from Exeter Airport, and we start getting on it. Start having a good time. Then they bring me to Mayflower Steps, and up, overlooking, Drake Island and so forth. Sir Francis Drake. I think about Sir Francis Drake, Lord Admiral Nelson. I think about these brothers that I'm talking about, the TCE, in the same regard. You understand? Plymouth history, Plymouthien history, Janner history, American history, in fact. And they picked me up, and now we meet up with the other lads, Moses, Dawson, Mike Dawson. You see, on Casuals Directory, I'm going to put some videos up using some of the pictures. He's been quite active on there, talking about some of the Plymouth history. I haven't got a chance to talk to him so in depth about everything, but I'm interested to study with him as well next time or sometime when I'm over there. So then, Dawson, Jock. And imagine, I've been picked up by football hooligans from the airport, immediately treated to things we do, taken to where my ancestors left from before they founded this country. Then I'm in an outdoor pub overlooking that same water that the Mayflower left from so long ago. And I had never seen the CP Company Jack in real life. I only seen it, online. I seen Steph. Oh man, that's a CP Company jacket. Can I see it? He put it on me. Bomb. Now and then when I get there, Moses gives me a TCE shirt. You feel me? So, and that's where the picture come from. Boom, we're up there, and that was my introduction to England. That was my introduction. That was my first time I met UK hooligans, and like it or not, it's class the way they performed it, and they did that on behalf of all of Britannia towards America, and British hooligans towards America hooligans, if I may say. And then I've done a bit of history. I want to do more, but I'm gonna try to close it out here because those brothers there all got their tales to tell. And this thing wasn't started by one person. You read some stories about other firms, other crews, whatever it is. Sometimes it's started by one person. This is a city that has a bunch of different areas. Stonehouse, Effort, Boot Boys, goes on and on. But once I met those brothers, the lads I'm talking about, next thing, I'm going around and I'm facing whatever's coming my way. And some people's hostile, some people's not hostile. Bomb. But either way, next time, Adder, rest in peace, Wayne Jones Brownlow. PBB, I met up Sheridan. I can go on and on with the names. Not gonna name drop everybody, and some people don't want their names mentioned. But began there, and then I'll close like the history of the TCE. As far as all football hooligans in Plymouth, starts with Crazy Gang. That goes back 70s. I don't know anybody who's in it. I just heard about it from there while I'm on the streets. One old timer that represents West Ham that knocks around a Muttley Plain. He knew about it. I've heard other people talk about it. Nobody could tell me the names of it. You got then from Crazy Gang, the oldest proper hooligan from, that's the A38s. Then you get the TCE, that's when the casual scene starts coming around. Within the TCE, you got more firms that go on now. Let's stop it there. The TCE, who started the TCE? I'm going to leave it in the comments for you below. Forget about talking about me. Talk about the firm. Talk about the history of the firm. From what I see, Brendan Kelly and the Weber brothers. I was calling them the twins. I was confused. No, Weber brothers that are not twins. That's who started the TCE from what I know. But then you got the Picture on Casuals directory, founding members, bomb. They got Dawson in there. I'm sure he's got his own history to recount. But I'll leave you with the A38s, man, like Big Tony. What Big Tony taught me is that, I thought I told y'all hold that stuff down, man. Now then, Big Tony, what he taught me is they were the A38s, right? I know other A38, I know other A38, man, like Steve Manley, Cheers, Roger. I've been around quite a bit. I've met other A38s and everything. So that's a proper hooligan firm there, skinheads, boot boys. And then when the casuals thing started coming around, as Tony recanted to me, that's when the Brendan Kelly started coming around to him, talking about casuals, and that's the TCE. Then the name, where does it come from? I was told initially when I first went there in 2019 that you know, all the hoods used to fight each other, and then this central element brought all the lads together. I thought it brought everybody together in Plymouth, right behind the firm. And then Ada taught me no. It allowed for lads from different hoods, different areas, to be involved in something behind the football, but it didn't bring the entire city together. There's so much fight. If we didn't fight each other, it would have been one of the top firms in UK. You know, bam. Woo! So I could go on, but I'll leave it there. My introduction to the TCE, your introduction to the TCE for my American compatriots, and the origins of the TCE. Where did it begin? Who's the founders? In the comments below, let me know.